often feels inconsistent. The issue is rarely effort. In many cases, it comes down to how the body is being trained, not how much is being done. Most people assume that adding more exercises automatically leads to better results. But in practice, repeating one well-executed movement consistently can produce meaningful changes if the body is being challenged in a controlled and structured way. When you perform squats regularly, your muscles, especially the quadriceps, glutes, and supporting core, are exposed to repeated mechanical tension. Over time, the body adapts by improving how efficiently these muscles work together. This includes better neuromuscular coordination, increased local muscular endurance, and more stable movement patterns. This is not a rapid transformation. It is a gradual process where the body becomes more efficient with each repetition performed correctly. If you value clear, structured explanations of how training actually works, consider subscribing so you can continue building your understanding step by step. Before focusing on outcomes, it is important to focus on execution. Begin by standing upright with your feet approximately shoulder width apart. Your weight should be evenly distributed across your feet, not shifted forward onto your toes. Keep your chest lifted and your spine in a neutral position. Avoid rounding your back or overextending your lower spine. As you begin the movement, push your hips slightly backward while bending your knees. This allows the load to be shared between your hips and legs rather than placing excessive stress on the knees. As you descend, ensure that your knees move in the same direction as your toes. They should not collapse inward, as this can reduce stability and increase unnecessary joint stress. Lower your body in a controlled manner until your thighs are roughly parallel to the ground or to a depth that feels stable and comfortable based on your mobility. Pause briefly at the bottom if you can maintain control. Then press through your heels to return to a standing position, keeping your movement smooth and steady. Your breathing should follow a consistent rhythm. Inhale as you lower your body. Exhale as you push back up. Avoid rushing through repetitions. Control is more valuable than speed in this context. If completing 50 repetitions continuously feels challenging, break them into smaller sets. For example, perform 10 repetitions, rest briefly, and repeat until you reach your total. If you are a beginner, you can reduce the depth of the squat or use a chair as a guide. This helps you maintain proper form while building confidence in the movement. If you already feel comfortable with the exercise, instead of increasing repetitions immediately, you can slow down each phase of the movement. This increases time under tension and reinforces control. As you transition into applying this in your routine, subscribing can help you stay consistent with structured, practical guidance you can follow at home. With consistent practice, your body begins to adapt. In the early stages, it is common to experience muscle soreness. This is a normal response when the muscles are exposed to a new or repeated stimulus. Over time, as your body becomes more accustomed to the movement, this sensation typically decreases. You may begin to notice that everyday movements feel more stable. Activities like walking, standing, or climbing stairs can feel more controlled. This improvement comes from better coordination between your muscles and joints. As the movement becomes more familiar, your muscular endurance improves. This means your muscles are able to perform repeated contractions with less fatigue. If you are following along and focusing on building a consistent routine, subscribing can support that process with continued structured guidance. However, it is important to understand the limitation of this approach. Performing 50 bodyweight squats each day can improve movement quality and endurance, but it may not be enough to significantly increase muscle size or maximal strength. For that, the body eventually requires additional resistance or variation. This does not reduce the value of the habit. It simply defines what the habit is designed to improve. So the focus should remain on how the movement is performed. Quality of execution is more important than completing repetitions quickly. Each repetition should be controlled, stable, and aligned. Maintaining proper posture throughout the movement helps reduce unnecessary strain on the knees and lower back. If the movement becomes easier over time, progression can be introduced gradually. This can include slowing down the tempo, adding a brief pause at the bottom, or increasing repetitions slightly. There is no need to rush progression. The body responds best to consistent, repeatable input. If you are also interested in understanding how training connects to overall physical development over time, you can follow along for future structured explanations. Over time, a simple habit like this can contribute to stronger lower body muscle muscles, improved joint control, and more efficient movement patterns. These changes are often subtle at first, but they build gradually as consistency is maintained. It is not about doing more. It is about doing the same movement with better control, more awareness, and consistent repetition. Before moving forward with your routine, subscribing can help you stay aligned with a structured, long-term approach to training. The body does not respond to intensity alone. It responds to repeated, well-executed patterns over time. And when those patterns are consistent, progress becomes more predictable, even if it is gradual. That is where sustainable improvement begins.